Hey everyone, Eric here. Welcome to this special edition of the Daily Feed. We're going to be doing a members only chat. So if you would like to participate in the chat today, all you have to do is hit the join button, become a Team Airrick member. You get custom badges, emojis, all that good stuff. Yeah, and you look cool in the chat when you do it. And it supports the channel. This is a perk of being a member. We do member only chats once in a while during the month. And yeah, if you'd like to participate, you do that. Or you can super chat. It's another way. Or you can be a mod, but that's a whole different thing. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good week. I wanted to go live yesterday, but I'm kind of glad that I waited to today to do this because we got crazy news last night when I got in. I got in last night around, it was a little bit after 9 o'clock my time. And I saw that Superman and Lois got renewed for another season, and that Gotham Knights had been canceled. And so I'm like, I didn't expect this. It was Superman Day yesterday, so happy Superman Day. But we're going to talk about both of those things here, and I'm going to go in a little bit more detail of what I think about all this, because the video I made last night was like a reaction to it. It was like my first thoughts. But yeah, we've got a couple things to talk about and some possibilities for the future with the show, and some stuff that I don't think is going to happen. And we'll talk briefly about that here. I'm gonna make a longer video about some of this tomorrow as well. So it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about here. Let's bring up the first story though. And here we go. Gotham Knights canceled by the CW after one season. Now, the reason why I'm starting out with this one is because I want to get the worst news out of the way. But I'm not going to act surprised about this. I'm not going to be surprised about all this. I said, I have to go back and look, but I think on my very first video, maybe my first review on Gotham Knights, I said that I felt like this show was going to be canceled after one season, regardless of how well it performed. And I was like, okay, it's okay, but I just didn't think the show had a hook, right? I didn't think it was going to hold on, even with everything that was happening with Nexstar. And, I feel bad because a lot of the people involved with the show they were very excited to be working on the series. And you could tell that pretty much everyone involved with the show wanted to be there. They wanted to do something exciting and different and new with Gotham Knights. Wasn't really my thing. I stopped reviewing it after, I think, episode 5 or 6. Because I just felt like it was spinning its wheels. But the thing was, I think everybody involved with it really enjoyed the show. So here we go. Pups is like, no, not Gotham Knights. I am curious, though. 3 Dubs says, is it the worst news? He's kidding. So Charles says that the Two-Face story has been a lot of fun. I think what's going to happen is we are going to get a tease for Two-Face at the end of the season, and that's going to be the cliffhanger. That's what I think is going to be the cliffhanger for season 1 of Gotham Knights, is a tease of Two-Face. So I'm sorry if you can hear noises outside. I have my window open because it's a really nice day, so I apologize in advance. Vanessa, I'm still watching Gotham Knights, so I am disappointed but not surprised. Yeah. Quinlan says, I never watched the show, so I'm not sad about its cancellation. Yeah, I even though the show was the most cost-effective show in terms of like superhero properties, I think they didn't want to get involved in like the production of the series. I think Nexstar was like, nah, nope, not going to do it. Well, do you guys remember when David Ramsey said that Gotham Knights was in the Superman and Lois universe? Do you remember that? We covered that here when he said it. It was in I believe at a podcast, or actually I think it was a convention. He said that Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights were in the Superverse, which I guess never really mattered anyway, because I knew there was like little to no chance they would ever cross over. So I thought it was kind of funny that was a thing that was brought up. Danny stuff fell off after episode 4 or 5. Superman and Lois is amazing. Yeah, Superman and Lois is amazing. Darth Bunyan says all of that Two-Face teasing before the season show starts, and then everyone gets a tease. Bit of a slap in the face of people watching and like it. I agree, Darth Bunyan. I agree. Quinlan said, so at this point, will all DC content, if any TV related, be on Max going forward? That's a good question. So I thought about this a little bit. I think there is probably there's a high probability that anything live action that they care about will be on Max. I think that's the case, because we know some of the other stuff like the Superman animated series, the Batman animated series, they're not going to Max. So I don't think all DC content will go, but I think anything new that's live action will 100% go to Max at this point. We'll see. Sagavor here supporting as well with the $4.99 super chat. This is literally the first time in CW's history where all of their freshman shows have been canceled. Yeah. Yep. And we talked a little bit about the whole like PGA and Live Golf situation. We talked about that over on Twitch. So yeah, it's quite interesting there. Hey, South Texas Shark, how you doing? Laura says it's sad that Gotham Knights was canceled, but not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I actually would have been more surprised if Gotham Knights got renewed. That's the reality. I would have been more surprised if Gotham Knights was renewed as a series. Just to be honest about it. Anthony says if CW was never bought, Gotham Knights probably would have got a second season. Yes. I actually think that Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights would have been easy renewals for them. If Nexstar wasn't in charge. I actually think a lot of the shows would have been renewed. So Canada Graph says the CW pushed hard for Live Golf, and I bet that doesn't exist in a year. Well, not only that, but I'm sure you saw the PGA situation now. So that's going to hurt Nexstar. Look, I have a prediction before we get into the Superman and Lois stuff. I don't think the CW is going to be here in 2 years. And I don't mean like the network itself is going to be gone. I think the CW brand and Nexstar and all of this, they're either going to sell the CW for cheap or they'll file for like some sort of bankruptcy or something. That's what I think is going to happen. This business model will not sustain for them. Look, the only reason the CW ever worked is because it ran in debt. And what I mean by that is CBS and Warner Brothers, they both were willing to pull debt to get shows to syndication. That's the only reason the CW worked, ever. So now that the network has to turn a profit with these low viewership numbers, it's not going to work. They think it is. Maybe they know something that we don't know, but almost everybody I've talked to doesn't think that CW can survive this way. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see. I just don't see them moving forward beyond 2026. I just don't. Lance, you're talking about that fake Virtue poster that's going around? Is that the one you're talking about? Staggervore says they'll probably rename the network Nexstar TV. I don't think Nexstar is going to want to have this. What I feel like will happen, because they don't have a lot of their own IPs, is they will want to sell off their IPs. You know how they did the Netflix deals with like the stuff from the CW? I feel like Nexstar has to invest in something like that, because the CW app, as far as I know, isn't international. So unless they can somehow get some international stuff on that app and allow it to go like across the globe, I don't see how they survive. I just don't. Charles says, safe bet, don't get how they'll ever expect to make money without making any content. Yeah, so let me explain what their business model is. Pretty much. They have a couple of things that they're willing to make, but they don't have a lot, right? Which is like what Canada Graph says here. They only have a very tiny amount of things, right? So if they don't find a way to monetize the second run content that they have, which I don't see how they're going to do that in a big enough way to stay afloat. They don't have any of their own stuff. They have a couple of reality shows, as far as I know right now. So the Flash probably would have got a season 10 without Grant if the CW never bought. I think there might have been talks for a spinoff. I think there may have been the possibility of a spinoff show, but that would have never even been discussed with Nexstar in charge. Would have never been discussed. And by the way, I think Batwoman and Legends probably would have continued on if we didn't have drama at Nexstar and Warner Brothers. Infinity Force here goes, what's your general thoughts on Bruno Mannheim's story? I believe they should have shown more of Mannheim leading Intergang. That's a good question. I really have to think about that one, Infinity Force, and thank you for the super chat, by the way. I don't know if they would have been able to do that while the show took place primarily in Smallville. I think Smallville's holding the show back, to be completely honest. Which is why I am going to, when I have to think about it this week, but I'm going to go over like what I think the show would look like in Metropolis. Because I think in Metropolis they could have done something like that. And Infinity here with another super chat. Thank you so much. What do you think Lex Luthor's master plan will be? I think he's going to want to get revenge. I know that's a very standard, like run-of-the-mill plot for characters, but I think he's going to want to get revenge. Plain and simple. I think he's going to put everything around this whole idea of being locked away unfairly and take it very personally. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. Chegra and Virtue spinoff confirmed. I don't know about that, Anthony. Not sure about that one. All right, so let's talk about the great news here. So Superman and Lois was renewed for a 10-episode season 4 at the CW. And there's a couple of things riding on this renewal that have me a little bit concerned is probably the best way to put it. So first of all, we're reduced to 10 episodes, which is fine. That's like what you get with a streaming show, like 6 to 10 episodes usually. So that's fine. So what that means is we'll probably get less filler. So if you didn't like filler, that probably means we'll get less of it. And the reason why that is because they're eliminating a lot of non-leads. So a lot of the supporting characters are going to be not erased, I guess, but just not used in the show. So, like, I believe, again, that they're going to move out of Smallville into Metropolis, and the focus is going to be on Superman, Lois, and the kids. And Lex. I think Lex will be a part of season 4 as well. And I think that's going to be the setup for the show. And Canada Graphs can probably confirm this for me or not, but isn't it generally cheaper to film in the city than it is to film where they were filming at? I've read that somewhere, but I don't know if that's confirmed. But someone was saying that it is cheaper to film in Vancouver than it is to film outside of Vancouver. But I don't know. So no, that's not true. So a lot of outlets were saying that was true. And I'm like, I don't think that is. But the good news is that if they cut the cast back, then the cost of filming in Vancouver will probably be offset by the cast members who aren't there anymore. So here's the thing. Darth Bunyan says, so Sam not being anymore, do we think the DOD will also not be featured? If not, how do you think I'll handle Big Shift will keep the DOD and retire Sam? So here's another article that I have pulled up here, or not an article, but a tweet. And this is from Bam Smack Pal, but it's from the Instagram post here. But General Sam Lane will no longer be a regular part of Superman and Lois in season 4. Now, we could take that to mean a lot of things, right? That could mean that they still want him to come back once in a while. I don't know if he even lives in Canada. Is he a resident of Canada, or is Dylan is he an American actor? I'm not totally sure, but I would say if he is someone that is able to show up once in a while, we might see him. New Jersey? Okay, well then probably not. Probably not. What will most likely happen is the government will not be a big factor on the show. The DoD will not be a big factor on the show. They will probably remove that storyline to some degree. Because it's an expense. Not only is it him, but it's a lot of extras. It's a lot of facility space that they have to film in. So I don't know if the DoD is going to be. I don't think the DoD is going to be a thing, or at least a big thing in season 4. And it's sad because I actually liked him. I thought out of a lot of the supporting characters, he was one of the more interesting characters. So it's kind of sad that he is no longer going to be part of the show. So who else is getting eliminated? Who do I think is going to go? I have Twitter open just in case anything happens while we're streaming. If I miss something, definitely let me know. But I think the Cushings are gone. I think Kyle, Lana, Sarah, the other daughter, and even Chrissy. I think they're all gone. If they're going to keep anybody, it would be Lana, but I don't think they want to keep her without the rest of the family. So I think it's going to be a tough cut. I think we're going to find out that they're gone as well. The ones that I'm not so sure about, that I keep bouncing back around in my head. Hey, what's up, Josh? How are you doing? The one that I keep bouncing around in my head is John Henry and Natalie. So, two things. Their special effects are extremely expensive. They have like the steel suits. Those are extremely expensive. So I feel like if they're going to cut budget, that's going to be somewhere where they're going to cut it. The other option is that he doesn't use the steel suit anymore, and that they just become supporting characters that don't really interact with anybody, except for the family. The other option is they could be cut completely from the show. That's another option. But look, Canada Graphs is right here. They have to have some people for the family to interact with. I think we may see some new characters introduced. This is my soft pitch for like what I think the show is going to be. I think the show is going to be hybrid Smallville and Metropolis, right? At least in the first few episodes. Then I think we're going to spend a lot of time in Metropolis because I think Lois is going to go back to work in Metropolis. That's what I think. And we're going to get introduced to a cheaper supporting cast that doesn't require them to pay actors who have been on the show for 3 seasons. I think we're going to get a cheaper supporting cast. That's a good question, Anthony. I don't know. I have no idea where Jimmy Olsen is in this universe. I think we're going to get a cheaper supporting cast, and I think they're going to focus on the Lex Luthor stuff. Less recurring characters, things like that. Right here, Anthony Fecchio says, I feel like we're going to get a drop in quality. I don't know if we'll get a drop. I don't know if we'll get a drop in quality because they're reducing the episodes and they're reducing cast members. So here's what I think is happening. Say, for example, you have $500 to spend on something, right? You have $500 to spend on something and you have 5 people. And each person costs money to feed. It's about $50 a person to eat. So that's already half your money gone because you have 5 people, $500, $50 a person, half your money's gone. Then you have the other half to do things like go to a movie or do things like that. And all of a sudden it's like, you're like, everybody's cut on, like, on this budget or whatever. But then you get told, hey, we're going to give you the same amount of money that we were giving you, but we're going to reduce the cast. Okay. So then it's like 2 of you with $500. And they're like, we're also going to reduce the money a little bit by 100. So then it's down to $400, right? You still end up in a good space because the money that you had to spend on actors and characters are now going towards like special effects and stuff. There are people crunching numbers to make this work. Am I saying that we're going to see like, you know, really bad quality special effects and stuff because of this? No. But they may be very picky about where they spend that money. They may be very, very picky about where they spend that money. Staggervorth, the 1-9 super chat goes, I think we get a Jimmy Olsen. I think it's a possibility. They'd cast someone who is inexpensive and would probably be recurring. I actually think we're going to see a lot of recurring people. I think we're going to see a lot of recurring people in season 4. You know how like everybody becomes a regular? Regulars are more expensive than recurring. I think we're going to see recurring characters. Well, Quindolin, that's a safe bet. It's a safe bet that we are going to see some quality drop. But I think the quality drop may be in stuff like extra stories. You know, like all the little stories we get, like the Chrissy and Kyle stuff, the stuff with Sarah and Junior, and the kids going out and doing stuff with other kids, you know, like parties and stuff like that. I think they're going to reduce that. I think we're going to see less of that stuff. And because that requires so many other actors, and they'll refocus that, you know, somewhere else. That's what I think. That's what I want to believe. Hold on here. Oh, yeah. I mean, I expect that we'll probably see a lot less of those huge cinematic things that we get every 2 or 3 episodes. You know, like every 2 or 3 episodes, we see Superman doing something incredible. We'll either see less of that or it will look less polished, is my general concern. Do you think the same visual effects companies for the last 3 seasons stay for season 4 and cinema? We don't know yet. I haven't seen anything about that yet. Laura says Lois and Clark might sell the farm and paper and keep Lex from suing false imprisonment. I think you might be onto something there, Laura, possibly. Darth Bunyan says, I like all the side characters, their stories. I will miss the Cushings for sure. I can understand that. Anthony says, with the 2 leads we have, quality can't be that bad. Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. I will say this, though. I think for now, what we need to do is not be so concerned about all of the details. Because look, we could have ended up with a show that didn't come back. Elizabeth Tulloch seems really happy about this. I saw that Alex made a post about it on Instagram. Everybody seems really happy about this. So I'm going to wait until we know more about what's happening before I start like going, the sky is falling and everything is awful. We knew that there was going to be some sort of a budget cut. We knew that. I feel like we all were pretty much prepared that if the CW renewed the show, we were going to get a reduced budget. But the good news is they're reducing the episode count, which helps. They're reducing the bloat of the cast, which is going to help offset that a little bit. So I think there's a possibility that it's going to be fine. We really just have to wait and see. The first teaser that we get is going to tell us. The first teaser that we receive for Superman and Lois before season 4 will tell us about the quality. When we start seeing set photos, when Canada Graph starts taking pictures, we will see what the quality is going to be like, honestly. So Joanne here, Team Airrick member, of course, says it was the side characters to give the show its heart. Too bad it didn't get picked up by Max. So in a perfect world, so let's talk about what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Max pick the show up, reduce the episodes to 10, which is what we got, but keep the integrity and fidelity of the show. That's what I wanted. So I feel like this is a compromise for me. I feel like, okay, we're getting the 4th season. We're getting 10 episodes. I'm not happy with some of the details of it, but I feel like this is overall a good thing. Because think about this. This could have been Batwoman. This could have been Legends of Tomorrow. This could have been Naomi. This could have been Gotham Knights. This could be a show that we do not get an answer for questions for characters and stories. And we know at the very least now that the cliffhanger we get at the end of this season is going to lead to something. And if this is the final season, we're going to get a definitive ending. Which, even though I absolutely hated season 9 of The Flash, I would have been even more pissed off if we didn't actually get a final season. That's how I feel about it. But I agree with you. The side characters are important, Joanne. I wish they could have found a way to make it work, honestly. So here we have a comment from Anthony Beltry here. Wouldn't Berlanti Productions help with the budget for Superman and Lois? The problem is there's a lot of negotiations going on, right? So you have Berlanti in this, you have Warner Brothers Discovery DC involved in this because it's their character IP. And then you have Nexstar involved in all this. So I honestly feel like the reason why it took so long to make this happen is because they did everything they could. Look, I don't think that Nexstar gives a shit about any of us. You know what I mean? I don't think they do. But I believe that Berlanti does. I think Greg Berlanti really cares about these shows. And let's be honest here, Superman and Lois is probably the highest quality superhero show on network television. Look, I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I think when it comes down to it, this show was at a different level of quality from a lot of network television shows, visually and story-wise. I think it just definitely ticked a lot of the boxes. So for network TV, I think this is the top of the show. This is the top of the shows. I think that there was a little battle to make sure the show continued. Maybe Max wasn't willing to take it. What if that was the case? What if behind the scenes, Max was like, we don't want to take this show? So Greg Berlanti went back to Nexstar and worked out a deal with Nexstar so that they could make the show come back. What if that's what happened? Because we don't know what happened behind closed doors. We don't know. And Canada Graphs is absolutely right. Nexstar only took this because they got it for a price they're willing to pay. That's it. And I do believe that the deal they worked out with streaming rights played a big factor too. Because the president of Nexstar said that they did not have the right to stream previous seasons of Superman and Lois. So apparently there was a deal with that also behind the scenes that played into this. Katie here says, when are they expecting Superman and Lois season 4 to air? I would say March, April of next year, if I had to guess. I would say at the earliest March. I think that's probably when I would look for it. Yeah. Quinlan says, after the cancellation of Doom Patrol and Titans, I figured the live action shows on Max were maybe because at this point we don't know what DC is trying to do TV wise. So I know that James Gunn says he's totally okay with Elseworld stories, but I think when it comes to Max, they're trying to clean it up a little bit and streamline it. You know what I mean? And look, this is what Cody says here. They want Max to be exclusive home of DCU and nothing else. I think that's the case. That's why all of these other things are going to other services, like things going to Adult Swim, things going to Prime. They only want shows on Max that reflect the DCU. That is truly what I think is happening with them right now, to be completely honest. And yeah. Laura, look, tomorrow I'm going to do a video on it. 2 videos tomorrow. One of them is going to be about this Marvel stuff. We're not going to dive into it here, but Marvel is shifting movies around. It's like hot potato with movies. I looked at the lineup today and I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? So look for that video tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow, midday here on the channel. I'm going to talk about why I think that's happening and what it means for some of the stuff that's going on. But yeah, the writer's strike will affect some shows. Keep in mind, anything that's renewed right now, the writer's strike could still affect it coming back next year, depending on what happens. So be prepared. All right. So Anthony, this is my other video for tomorrow, and I'll go into more detail about this. I'm going to say confidently that I think there is 0 chance that the Flash shows up on a reduced budget season of Superman and Lois. I think there's 0 chance that happens. They got 10 episodes. The budget is getting slashed. We have no idea exactly how much it's getting slashed. But I think it would be extremely difficult for them to put the Flash in a reduced budget of Superman and Lois. I'll do a whole video on it tomorrow, though. Quinlan said that's a problem for me. Then they don't have a DCU. It's fractured as hell at this point, and they are banking on a universe Flash movie. So come on. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do another video on this at some point to sort of really dive into what my thoughts and feelings are about all of this, because I need to break down and do a little digging and find out, maybe some of the numbers and things like that behind the scenes. Unless Grant Gustin does it for fans and not money. I don't think Grant's could buy a settled in like Steven's yet, so I would have to agree on many levels. Yeah. If Superman and Lois got a season 5, maybe, but I don't know. Anthony here says also DCU shows that James Gunn is doing is not coming out until 26 or 27. That's a long time. Did you like they're like not only that, but like Avatar. Let's talk about that briefly for a second. I think the final Avatar movie is like 2031 or something. Yikes. That delay, like everything's getting shifted. Joanne says more or less of Superboy. So I think we'll probably get more of Superboy because they're going to have less of other characters. If Steel and Natalie are still a part of the show, Superboy would be less of a thing they would focus on. But if Steel and Natalie are not a major part of the show, I think Superboy will become a bigger and more important part. Quinn said, yeah, it is, but what worries me is James Gunn is comedic. He has done no serious movies. Like, I don't always want to see stupid comedies all the time. Yeah, I mean, he always has comedy in his stuff from what I've seen. So I don't know how that's going to play out for Superman. So 3Dub says 2031 will be nearly 40 when Avatar 5 comes out. Get ready, 3Dub. Alexandra here says, will people still care about Avatar by then? I have a feeling we're going to see like Avatar cartoons and stuff between now and then. I think Disney Plus is going to try and focus on some other side content with Avatar to keep people talking about it. There's a 4-year break between Avatar 3 and 4. Ooh. Lance says, I'm in Superman and Lois season 4. Spoiler alert. Josh says, I need John, a.k.a. Steele, around. He brings so much more than just a suit to the show. I have complained that John Henry hasn't gotten enough on this season. I think when Paige and I talked about it, we believed there was probably something with John Henry's story that had to get changed because it feels like some stuff is missing from his story this season. So Laura says, I will be nearly 60 when Avatar 5. Oh my gosh. They filmed 2 and 3 back to back. as far as I know, right? Somebody who knows better could probably like correct me on that. But I think 2 and 3 were filmed back to back, and that's why 4 and 5 are going to take longer because they have to actually like film it and do all the work on it and everything. All right. So we're going to open this up to like a Q&A now. So if you are watching for the Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights stuff, we can keep talking about that, but we're going to do a Q&A. So if anybody wants to ask anything, we're going to be live for like another 15 or 20 minutes. Chosen Vader says, hey, Eric, I'm back. The reason why I barely joined the stream is because I have some personal issues. Well, I hope everything's okay, Chosen Vader. Hope you're good. Yeah, 2 and 3 were back to back. Yes, they did film back to back. Okay, there we go. So while I wait for you guys to ask some questions, I'm going to talk about this week. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock my time, we're going to be doing a group stream. I think a few people in here might be coming on. Maybe 3Dub, maybe Lance. We'll see if Canada Graph wants to come on tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Yeah, there we go. RIP. Saw that. It's going to be Andy's going to be there. Chainsaw's going to be there. Omni Media is going to be there, I think. A few other people are going to be there. Anyway, we'll be live at 7 o'clock to talk about the future of DC TV now that we have this news about Superman and Lois. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Again, I have 2 videos coming out tomorrow, though, so make sure you watch for that. Cody here says, I think the 2 cut episodes were contributions towards John's story and Diggle was in those. Yes, probably. Yeah. I'm seeing it tomorrow as well, but I will not talk about it tomorrow. So, all right, Canada Graphs, I'll send you a link tomorrow. Flash Freak, you can join me tomorrow if you want. That's kind of what that is. So if you want to watch tomorrow with the group live stream, it's going to be exactly an hour from right now. Right, an hour from right now is when the stream will be live tomorrow. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about it until this weekend. The after party this weekend will be dedicated to the Flash movie. So that's when I'll talk about it. Paige and I will both talk about it on Saturday. Yes, I did, but I haven't seen anything really. So, anyway, we're doing that, and then Saturday's after party will be about the Flash movie. We'll talk about all that there. It will be a non-spoiler / spoiler. So, yes, Robert Blake, tomorrow's stream is going to be a guest stream. It's going to be a 1-hour guest stream from 7 to 8. So, but Saturday is just a regular after party. We'll talk about that. So, do you think it was smart for Stargirl to film 2 scenes if season 4 would have happened? I don't know how to answer that one. I'm not really sure, Anthony. I'll have to think about that one for sure. What Superman villains do you hope show up next season? I think it's going to focus on Lex, Charles. I think it's just going to be Lex. I don't think we're going to see a lot of big villains in a shortened season. I would love to see someone like Lobo show up, but I don't think a season about Lex Luthor would necessarily, I don't think Lobo would work in that. But Lobo would be fun to see how they would do it on Superman and Lois. Yeah, I think it will be because of the fact that they don't have a ton of money to go around. So what else was I going to say now? Completely had a brain fart. Let's see. Yay, got a thumbs up from Joanne here with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Joanne. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lex is 100% the big bad next season because he can't be the villain for only 2 episodes. I agree. I would love for Metallo to show up next season of Superman and Lois. Okay, sounds good. I didn't like the way Metallo was done on Supergirl. So, you know what, 3Dub, you're right. They'd have to change that for sure. Let me ask you a question. Anybody else like Metallo? Do you, because I know Supergirl's Metallo wasn't great. I wasn't a big fan of Metallo. Let's see. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is that the one you're talking about, Canada Graphs? I don't know if it is or not. I'm not sure. I guess it is. I mean, by the standard of what it is, I guess it is a sandwich, but I don't know if I'd call it a sandwich. A hot dog is a hot dog. Oh gosh, Brainiac. Yeah, that would be quite a thing for a season. I don't know if that would work or if that would be too expensive. Danielle says I'm bummed out because I don't like empty theaters. So last night on Twitch, I looked at my local theater, right? Let me see. I'm going to look at my local theater at the primetime slot for Thursday for The Flash, which is 9 o'clock, to see how many tickets are sold for Thursday for opening night. Because as of last night, there was only like 2 tickets sold, which is unusual, to be honest. All right, let's see. The Flash. Oh my God. Okay, so it is a smaller theater. My local theater is smaller, but it usually sells out by now, right? It usually sells out by now. We looked at this last night. Here we are, 6 o'clock on Tuesday, my time. The movie comes out on Thursday. These are the seats available. Red means taken, white means available. Okay? Red means taken, white means available. This is the Flash movie for Thursday at 9 o'clock. No one has bought tickets for 9 o'clock. Let me see if there's another showing. All right, so here is the 9:50 showing at that same theater. It's in a larger room or whatever. This one's a little bit better, but this movie should be selling out seats. Let's be clear here. This movie, we got Michael Keaton's Batman. We got a new Supergirl. We got 2 Flashes. We got 2 Batmans, actually. This is all the seats they've taken. Look how many seats are available. $9.50 on Thursday. Here's the 3 o'clock showing on Thursday. I'm kind of shocked. Let's look at Friday then. Let's look at Friday. We'll look at Friday at Friday at 9 o'clock for the Flash. Let's look at Friday at 8 o'clock. That's 8 o'clock. I'm concerned. Let's look at Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. Let's see what that's doing at 9 o'clock. Hold on, here it goes. There are more seats sold for Across the Spider-Verse, which has been out for 3 weeks, than there is for The Flash on a Friday night. On a Friday night. Let me check the Transformers Rise of the Beast. Where's it at? Here is Transformers Rise of the Beast at I don't know. Let's look at 9 o'clock. There's more seats for Transformers sold than there are for the Flash at that same time slot. Well, here's the thing. The theater that I go to, the tickets are only $6. They're only $6. So that's why it fills up so quickly. It's only $6 to go to the theater that I go to, which is why families go there. It is extremely cheap to go to because it has a full menu. So, yeah. What is that new Pixar movie? What is the Elementals? Elemental. Okay. So we have Elemental also. Let's see what the 9 o'clock showing for Elemental is. Oh my God. That's Elemental at Friday. Same time slot as the Flash. Same time slot as the Flash. Hold on, let's check the... Oh my God. Here's the 10 o'clock showing of Elementals. So let's pick another time for the Flash. They have a bunch of showings on Friday. So let's pick, I don't know, 3 o'clock. Ooh. 3 o'clock for the Flash on Friday. Let's do 5 o'clock. Oh, hey, look, 5 o'clock might be the sweet spot for the Flash. That's the Flash movie at 5 o'clock on Friday. That is the most seats I've seen taken out of all of the showings. All right, I'm getting a little nervous. Because I know that I think it was Pagey said on Twitch a couple of months ago that he could see this movie making $1 billion. Like possibly. I don't even think with international numbers they can make $1 billion if that's how many seats they're selling on opening night. I don't think it's in range of $1 billion. So I would be comfortable with it making like, I don't know, I think 500, 600 at this point. Yeah. All right, I'm going to answer a couple super chats and then answer a couple more of your questions here, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. Stagger with the 199 super chat says Livewire may also be possible. I would like Livewire as well. Did anybody like Livewire previously, or would you want them to go a completely different direction from the one we had before? I'm very curious because I think Livewire could be really cool on Superman and Lois, to be honest. Robert Blake goes, I love enjoying your next less busy group stream. So the next less busy group stream that I have will probably be for the finale of Superman and Lois. So if you want to get in where you can fit in and you want to be in a group chat where I'm going to cap it at 5 people, let me know now. Superman and Lois season finale, the week after that will be a group stream. So lock in now. Lock in. Let's see. We've got a couple of chats here. So I asked earlier, but you release your Twitch stream. Oh, are they not out? Are they not out? Hold on. Sorry. I'll do it right now. I thought I turned them on. Maybe I didn't. Let me see. All right, hold on. Okay, if anybody is a subscriber over on Twitch, all the streams are available now. Sorry about that. All of them are available, including the one from last night. The one that like got screwed up or whatever. Robert says, "Thought you have to fight for tickets in his theater, but it'll also be empty." Charles says, "I definitely wait until the end of the day to pack theaters before I buy a ticket. Always prefer less crowded." Makes sense. Anthony says 750 million. Okay. So you're thinking it's going to make like Thor Love and Thunder movie money, right? Like around between 750 and 8. Canograph said, "I said 600 million comfortably, 800 million in range, 1 billion would be best case scenario." Yeah. Cody says, "Mine isn't filling up either. My tickets are $4 to $6. I think it has something to do with the cameos and what they did with that." So we're going to have to, like, by time we go live on Saturday with the after party, we'll have a good idea of how the movie is doing. And we can start talking about like whether or not things helped or hurt. But I think there's a lot of factors on why it's not working. Alexandra here says, "Elementals were released on the 22nd for me, so the Flash has no good competition in Peru." All right. Chosen Vader says, "I think the Flash movie will make 500 million. All right. So Laura says, "Plus there are too many movies coming out that people have to pick and choose." I said this last night. We have had a full month of must-see movies, right? We've had a full month of must-see movies. And Across the Spider-Verse, people are seeing it multiple times. I have seen it 4 times, and I know most people have seen it twice. So that is also a factor. People are spending money on stuff they really enjoy, and I think that's affecting the Flash. Yeah, Flash Freak, we talked about it earlier. Quinlan says, "Yeah, it's not looking good in my city. I'm in AZ, and it looked at Harkins AMC, and the seats aren't really filled." Robert Bunyan says, "Yes." So I'm assuming Superman and Lois stream. Gotcha. If they make Livewire, make Superman the animated series, and yeah, okay. Livewire season 1 of Supergirl was pretty cool, though. All right. Awesome. More like animated. The animated Livewire was really good. 3 Dub, I see what you did there. The spots will fill faster than a Prime Friday Night Flash opening weekend movie ticket. Email Thomas is good. I've been wanting to watch the Twitch streams. Well, they're up now. I'm sorry. I thought that I hit them, but I guess I didn't hit them properly. Anyway, there's hours and hours of Twitch streams available if you missed them over the last week. Danielle says, "Most likely because we here get a monthly paycheck and not weekly. The theater will most be busy in 2 weeks. Hopefully there's space for the Flash because we know that movie is going to be the only movie in theaters still running that's typically new before, because I don't think Indiana Jones is going to affect the box office for Flash. More like Black Adam. So you're saying that, Quinlan, you're saying the Flash is going to be like Black Adam? Is that what you think, money-wise? Yeah. So Robert and Kata both want to join. So that's 3 spots. 3 spots left. Maybe 8 years too late. Yeah. Laura says 500 million for the Flash movie. I'm more on your side, Laura. That's what I think. It's okay. Your theaters are packed. Where are you, Anthony? You don't have to tell me what city, but like what general area are you in? What is weird? There usually ads at bus stops, but nothing for the Flash. Yes, there's an Indiana Jones movie. There's an Indiana Jones movie coming out. Oh, you think it'll make more than Black Adam? Okay. How many have you done? I saw the Godspeed one. You're in Florida? Okay, maybe it'll do well down there. Chosen Vader, I will put your name down. And when I go to send out invites for the stream, I'll let you know. Well, you're going to be on a cruise, though. You're going to be having a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's worth it. It's worth it for you. Don't feel bad about it. Quinlan says, "I'm really excited to see the Indiana Jones movie." It's going to be interesting to see how that does. Laura says that her theaters are pretty empty. Joining the Superman and Lois stream, Lance? Is that the one you want in on? It sounds like punishment. Really? Danielle is here, says, do we think people who watch casually are informed about Ezra Miller boycotting? So we will know after the opening weekend. After the opening weekend, we will see if the sales are so low that that's the only logical conclusion. If the sales are really low and we hear a lot of people saying that that's why they didn't go and see the movie, then we'll know why. Because right now it's too early to make that assumption. So I would say we just have to kind of sort of wait to find out for that. All right, so 2 videos tomorrow and a live stream. Tomorrow I'm going to be going over all of the Marvel news. I'm going to break it down, talk about like why I think it's happening, what's being shifted. That'll be the first video tomorrow. Second video tomorrow will be why I think the Flash showing up in Superman and Lois is not going to happen, and I'll give several reasons why. We'll go in more depth than we did here on the stream. So those are the 2 videos for tomorrow, and then there's a live stream tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll be talking about the future of DC TV outside of just HBO Max or Max, because I think that that's kind of a no-brainer. We kind of know where we're going with that, but we'll talk about that. It's going to be a lot of guests tomorrow. It's going to be a 1-hour stream. It'll be at 7 o'clock. I will be scheduling it tonight, so make sure you keep an eye on that. And that's pretty much it right now for the week. I'll be seeing The Flash tomorrow as well, but I will not be talking about it until Saturday. So don't expect me to give my thoughts on it until the after party. And not sure what we're going to have at the end of the week. We'll see what news comes out right now. I'm trying to do more news updates. So let me ask a question. Team Airrick members, are you guys enjoying the slightly shorter multiple videos a day opposed to one long video? I think it's better if I'm going to do multiple topics to do a live stream, and then for my regular videos do individual topics. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I've tried both the last couple of weeks, and I think the individual topic videos, the shorter individual topic videos, are better, and multiple topics should be for live streams. Is that fair? I feel like that's the fair way to do it. At least I'm seeing good review numbers on that. Like people seem to be responding well to that. So if that's the case, we'll you prioritize watching longer videos. Okay. Well, I'm not doing away with longer videos. That's not going to happen. But during the day, like sometimes if there's a shorter news topic, the video will be like 5 minutes instead of 10. However, I think that the multiple topics will be saved for like live streams like this. Like if we're talking like 5-6 topics, I was trying to do those in pre-recorded videos, and I don't think it was resonating really well because people weren't clicking through. I was looking at my analytics, and people weren't clicking through and looking at each individual section. So yeah. Okay. Seems like you guys like, here we go. Like, yeah, I enjoy it. Love the way you're doing videos. Doesn't matter. I like both styles. Playback of streams I missed. Well, there's going to be more streams. So if you like longer videos, I'm doing more streams. I'm going to try and do at least 3 streams a week now, the after party, and then 2 additional streams. So you're going to still get that long form content. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Anthony says that's how I like to watch content, short videos, and then streams when I can. Okay, well, yeah, that's the plan. It seems to be working. So yeah, Joanne says I enjoy shorter more. Robert says all are good. Okay. All right. Well, it is almost on the hour mark. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Team Airrick members, you guys are keeping the lights on. Thank you guys so much. The videos that are coming out tomorrow, any video that I have ready prior to the next day, I will try and make available for Team Airrick members as early access. So starting within the next week or so, as Team Airrick members, pay attention to your feed. You'll start to see early access videos more often. So like tonight, my Marvel video that will go up tomorrow will probably be early access for Team Airrick members. So if you're a Team Airrick member, you won't have to wait till tomorrow to see it. You'll see it earlier. So that's going to happen with videos during the week. You'll see 2 or 3 early access videos for being a Team Airrick member. So, that will go into effect starting within the next 5 to 7 days. So there we go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and chatting with me. Again, join me tomorrow, 7 o'clock, which will be 30 minutes from now. We'll be doing the live stream with everyone. We'll be talking about some Arrowverse stuff and any more news. We might have more news by tomorrow. So we have more news. We'll inject that into the live stream as well. And thank you guys so much. Yes, thanks, Chosen Vader, for gifting memberships. By the way, anybody that wants to gift memberships, feel free to do so during the after parties. I know a lot of people really love it when there's a little good charity going around, and it helps support the channel. So please feel free to gift memberships on the after party, and I'll give you shout outs, and everyone will love you. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Bye.